So now that we know how to get our electron configuration from our orbital diagrams, I'm going to show you what happens when we don't have an orbital diagram, we just have an element. We can find the electron configuration for that using the periodic table. So the periodic table is split up into 4 categories, and you can see each a different color, and those represent the electrons that go in that sublevel. And I say electrons and not elements because each new element we're adding an electron. And so hydrogen has 1 electron. This would be 2 electrons for helium. Lithium has 3, 4 for beryllium, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those electrons are the same as your atomic number. And so when you're going through each element, you're essentially just adding on another electron because they go in order. So the 4 levels that they're split up into are S, P, D, and F. And those letters should look familiar from your orbital diagrams because those are your sublevels. So you have your S, your P, and this orbital diagram doesn't have D and F, but there are some that do. And so when we are writing our orbital, or when we're writing our electron configuration, we have to follow a few steps. So we're going to write the electron configuration for silicon. Your first step is you have to write every row number for the sublevels that you go through. What I mean by that is we're going to start at hydrogen up here. These are our row numbers. And so we are trying to get to silicon. We have to go through all of these elements and keep adding on electrons until we get to silicon. And so, starting with hydrogen, we have to write the row number, which is 1. Then we write the sublevel that we're in, which is the letter. So we're in S, and then how many electrons we have to go through to get to the next sublevel, and we keep repeating that until we get to silicon. So for the 1s, we go through hydrogen and helium. That's 2 electrons, and so we're going to write a 2 up there. So now we're going on to row 2. So we're going to write our row number, and then our sublevel. We're still in S. And then you have to write the number of electrons. So we go through 2 in our S. So we're going to write our 2. Now we go over, still in our second row, but now we're in P. So we're still in our second row, so we can write 2. This time we're in our P sublevel, so you're going to write P. And we have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elements, so 6 electrons, so you're going to write a 6 as the exponent. Finally, we're on our third row, so you're going to write a 3. Again, the sublevel that we're in, so we're in S again, and how many electrons we go through. There's 2 elements, so that's 2 electrons, and so you're going to write a 2 as an exponent. And then you're going to go over to the 3p. So we're still in row 3. We're now in the P section. And we have to go through aluminum and then add on an electron for silicon. And so that's 2 electrons. And you're just going to write 2 as your exponent. So you have to count the element that you are looking for as well. And then so this is the electron configuration for silicon using the periodic table. So again, you write your row, your sublevel, those are your letters, and then number of electrons, which are also the number of elements. you go through. And you keep doing that until you get to your element.